Welcome to Live Better Health, your guide for practical nutrition and fitness information for building and maintaining strong muscles at any age. Every day, the 100 grams of protein you eat to build muscle won't actually build anything unless you're consuming enough healthy fat. Here's the uncomfortable truth about fat burning, weight loss, and muscle building. You actually need fat to accomplish any of these goals. Here's what you haven't been told. Your body's preferred fuel source isn't carbohydrates. It's fat. Fat provides more than twice the energy per gram compared to carbohydrates or protein. 9 calories versus 4 calories per gram. Fat isn't sabotaging your goals. It's the key to unlocking them. But decades of misinformation and corporate propaganda have turned fat into the villain, making it one of the most misunderstood and demonized nutrients. This is why many older adults make the mistake of buying everything labeled low-fat, thinking they're making a healthier choice. What they don't know is that these industries remove the fat, then add other garbage to get the original taste back. They pump in sugar, artificial sweeteners, thickening agents, and emulsifiers that have completely destructive effects. They can damage your gut health, increase inflammation, and sabotage everything you're trying to accomplish. That's why in this video, I'm sharing 2 nuts that contain more healthy fat than avocado. I'll start with the second nut you can find easily in almost every store. Then I'll reveal the number 1 nut, the king of them all, that contains 8 times more fat than avocado. And before we finish, I'll also explain the 3 worst fat sources you must avoid at all costs. Let's start with number 2, pecan nuts. Before we dive into pecans and their healthy fat content and how they help you build muscle, let's clear up the confusion about fats. There are 4 main types of fat, and contrary to popular belief, good and bad fats aren't as simple as you've been told. Trans fats are bad fats. Absolutely, avoid them at any cost. These are artificial, industrially produced fats found in some foods that are pure poison for your body. On the other hand, saturated fat isn't your enemy. For example, the saturated fats found in pecans play an important role in delivering key nutrients and vitamins to your muscles and body, like vitamins A, D, E, and K. They also trigger your body to produce more testosterone, which, as you probably know, is absolutely critical for muscle building. And what's even more surprising is that, just like protein, the healthy fats in pecans help you feel much fuller and keep you satisfied for hours, so you don't binge eat and pack on body fat instead of muscle. Recent research backs this up. Studies have found that older adults who regularly consume tree nuts like pecans showed improved muscle strength and reduced inflammatory markers compared to those who avoided nuts. Researchers noted that the combination of healthy fats, protein, and micronutrients in pecans supported better muscle protein synthesis and recovery in seniors over 60. To enjoy pecans, you can prepare them in several delicious ways. Start your morning with a pecan-crusted omelet. Prepare eggs with heavy cream, salt, and pepper. Heat beef tallow in a skillet over medium heat. Roughly chop pecans and add them to the eggs along with sharp cheddar cheese and fresh spinach. Fold it over and let the cheese melt. For lunch, start with a base of mixed greens and spinach. Add sliced grilled chicken thigh, cherry tomatoes, cucumber, crumbled blue cheese, and a generous handful of toasted pecans. Prepare a dressing with olive oil, apple cider vinegar, minced garlic, salt, and pepper. For dinner, take a salmon fillet, pat it dry, season with salt and pepper. Chop pecans and press them firmly onto the top of the salmon, creating a thick crust. Heat beef tallow in a cast iron skillet over medium-high heat. Place the salmon in the pan and let it sear for several minutes without touching it. Carefully flip it and cook until the crust is golden and crispy. Serve it alongside roasted Brussels sprouts and sweet potato. Now, if you're only eating pecans as a good source of healthy fat, you're in for a big surprise because you still won't build optimal muscle unless you combine them with the next nut I want to talk about. The next nut I want to discuss is richer than pecans in monounsaturated fats, especially omega-7, making it excellent for metabolism and heart health. It also has fewer carbs, more manganese, and unique plant sterols that support hormone balance. Pecans, on the other hand, have more fiber, vitamin E, and antioxidants. So combining them together creates the perfect healthy fat source for your muscle-building goals. The second nut is macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts have substantial fat content, making them one of the highest fat nuts available. You might ask again, do fats really matter for body composition? The answer is absolutely yes. Let me show you why. The first sign you're not getting enough healthy fats is dry, scaly hair. Fats are essential for healthy, shiny hair that doesn't break or thin out prematurely. Next is dry, itchy skin. Fats like omega-3s are crucial for maintaining your skin's moisture barrier. Without them, you get dry, itchy, flaky skin that ages faster. Then comes brain fog and cognitive issues. Omega-3 fats, especially DHA, are critical for brain function. When you eat too little fat, your mental clarity disappears. You'll also develop deficiencies in fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K because they require dietary fat to be properly absorbed and utilized in your body. Without fat, you're literally flushing these vitamins away. Finally, there's joint pain and inflammation. Healthy fats have powerful anti-inflammatory properties that reduce joint pain and stiffness. Now, tell me, if your body is suffering from all of these issues, how in the world are you going to build any muscle? I personally add a small handful of macadamia nuts to each of my meals to ensure I'm getting enough throughout the day. I see this constantly. People tracking calories and protein obsessively, eating too lean, convinced they're eating so clean. They're consuming egg whites, tilapia, and chicken breast like it's a religion, getting maybe 20 grams of fat a day, and they're absolutely crashing their hormone production. This will directly and negatively destroy your results and your body muscle composition. Research has examined older adults who incorporated macadamia nuts into their daily diet over several weeks. Participants experienced improved muscle strength, better inflammatory profiles, and enhanced insulin sensitivity compared to control groups. The study specifically noted that the monounsaturated fats and plant sterols in macadamia nuts supported hormone balance and muscle protein synthesis in adults over 65. To enjoy macadamia nuts, start your morning by making a macadamia nut butter smoothie. Blend macadamia nut butter with vanilla protein powder, frozen banana, full-fat coconut milk, spinach, and ground flax seed until creamy. For lunch, make yourself a macadamia-crusted chicken. Take bone-in, skin-on chicken and pat it dry. Season generously with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Roughly chop macadamia nuts and press them into the skin side of the chicken, creating a thick crust. Heat beef tallow in a cast iron skillet over medium-high heat. Place the chicken skin side down and let it sear without moving for several minutes until the crust is golden and crispy. Flip them over, reduce the heat to medium, and cook until the chicken is cooked through. Serve it with roasted asparagus drizzled in olive oil. For dinner, cook your favorite pasta, preferably a protein pasta option. While that's cooking, make your pesto. In a food processor, combine fresh basil, macadamia nuts, garlic, grated Parmesan cheese, and olive oil. Pulse until smooth and creamy. Drain your pasta. Toss it with the macadamia pesto. Then top it with grilled shrimp or sliced grilled steak. However, it would be useless to use pecans and macadamia nuts, these healthy fat-rich nuts, if you pair them with the next 3 fat sources I want to talk about. The last one is extremely common, and I'm almost certain you've had it this week. In fact, combining these toxic fats with the healthy ones we've discussed could act like poison in your body, completely sabotaging your muscle-building efforts. The problem is, you don't know they're destroying you. But I'm going to reveal them for the toxic sources of fat that they truly are. Number 1, cottonseed oil. There are fats that will kill you and fats that will heal you. What are the fats that will kill you? The manufactured, altered fats. For thousands of years, humans thrived on coconut oil, olive oil, butter, and beef tallow. These fats were simple, pressed from olives, rendered from quality meat, extracted from coconut flesh, natural and pure. But nobody could extract oil from those hard seeds until the early 1900s when they invented high-heat chemical extraction using petroleum-based solvents like hexane. Here's the problem. The moment they use those chemicals and blast these seeds with extreme heat, they destroy the oil instantly. It's already oxidized, rancid, and inflammatory. And get this, almost every deep-fried food you eat at restaurants, French fries, fried chicken, onion rings, fish and chips, are fried with cottonseed oil. Research has examined the effects of dietary fat sources on muscle health in older adults. Researchers found that seniors who consumed high amounts of omega-6 rich seed oils showed significantly increased systemic inflammation and reduced muscle protein synthesis compared to those who consumed traditional fats like olive oil and animal fats. The study concluded that the oxidized lipids in industrially processed seed oils actively impaired muscle recovery and contributed to accelerated muscle wasting in adults over 60. In contrast, participants who avoided seed oils and consumed natural fats demonstrated better muscle mass retention, lower inflammatory markers, and improved strength gains during resistance training. The second source of fat that's destroying your health is soybean oil. This fat is disastrous for your body, and here's why. It's predominantly genetically modified, and your body treats it like a foreign invader. This type of fat doesn't just sit there harmlessly. It actively makes you fatter. These are toxins, plain and simple. Fat tissue is your body's storage unit for things it doesn't recognize or know how to process. Well, your body has no idea what to do with fats from soy. So what does it do? It shoves it straight into your belly fat, your love handles, your problem areas. And here's the kicker. Losing that weight and building muscle around your midsection or anywhere else becomes nearly impossible when your fat cells are stuffed with inflammatory fats from soy. Stop feeding this garbage to your body because your body is smart enough to recognize poison. It's saying, I don't know what this is, so I'm just going to store it away. On the other hand, healthy fats from foods like macadamia nuts and pecans, your body instantly recognizes these. It knows exactly how to metabolize them, integrate them into cell membranes, use them for energy, and convert them into the building blocks your muscles desperately need. So it's not just about avoiding bad fats. It's about actively choosing the ones that transform your body. One class of fat stores stubborn belly fat and accelerates aging. The other burns clean, builds muscle, and keeps you thriving well into your later years. Research has investigated the impact of different dietary fat sources on body composition in older adults undergoing resistance training. Researchers found that seniors who consumed diets high in soybean oil experienced significantly greater abdominal fat accumulation and blunted muscle protein synthesis compared to those consuming traditional fats. The study revealed that the inflammatory compounds in soybean oil, particularly when genetically modified, triggered chronic low-grade inflammation that interfered with muscle growth pathways. Participants who replaced seed oils with healthier fats showed improved lean muscle mass, reduced abdominal fat, and better strength gains. Number 3. Low-quality chocolate. Now, I know this may come as a surprise. After all, you've been told that chocolate is a healthy source of fat. But what if I told you that you've been greatly misled? While it does satisfy sugar cravings and help with overall wellness, it is only beneficial if you get dark chocolate. Anything that's 80% cocoa and below, or worse, all those milk chocolates, then you are eating nothing but pure sugar. The downside to all of this is that pure dark chocolate bars are not so common. And when you do find them in stores, they cost significantly more. When you're loading up on sugar from milk chocolate or low-quality dark chocolate, you're actively sabotaging every muscle-building effort you make. Here's why sugar is particularly devastating for older adults trying to build muscle. Sugar spikes insulin erratically. And while insulin is anabolic, muscle building, when properly managed, chronic sugar consumption creates insulin resistance. Sugar triggers systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. Remember all those benefits we discussed from omega-3s and healthy fats reducing inflammation? Sugar does the exact opposite. It elevates inflammatory markers which directly impair muscle protein synthesis and slow recovery. You're essentially inflamed 24/7, and inflamed muscles cannot grow. Sugar crashes your testosterone. Studies show that consuming sugar causes a significant drop in testosterone levels for hours afterward. For older adults already dealing with age-related testosterone decline, this is catastrophic. Lower testosterone means reduced muscle protein synthesis, increased fat storage, and diminished strength gains. Sugar promotes muscle breakdown over muscle building. High sugar intake elevates cortisol, your stress hormone, which is catabolic, meaning it breaks down muscle tissue for energy. Research has examined the relationship between sugar intake and muscle health in older adults. Researchers found that higher sugar consumption was directly associated with reduced muscle mass, increased body fat percentage, and significantly lower muscle strength compared to seniors who consumed minimal added sugars. I remember one of my patients, Susan. Susan was 62 when she finally admitted the truth during our consultation. She told me she eats a significant amount of milk chocolate every night after dinner, sometimes more if she's had a stressful day. She'd been doing some resistance exercises consistently for several months, 3 times a week, never missing a session. But her body wasn't changing. Actually, it was getting worse. Her belly was softer. Her arms looked thinner despite the work, and she'd somehow gained weight while losing strength. I asked her to show me the chocolate she was eating. She pulled out a bar from her purse. It was labeled as dark chocolate, but loaded with sugar. We made one change, and several weeks later, Susan had dropped significant weight, all from her midsection, while gaining visible muscle definition in her arms and shoulders. Today, Susan keeps a bar of high-percentage dark chocolate in her pantry. She eats it slowly, savors it, and her body finally responds the way it should. So make the change today. Which of these unhealthy fat sources have you been unknowingly consuming alongside your healthy meals? The truth is simple. The fats you choose determine whether your body builds muscle or stores fat. The fats you choose determine whether you have energy or brain fog. The fats you choose determine whether you age gracefully or prematurely. Pecans and macadamia nuts, olive oil, butter, and beef tallow. These are the fats that heal you. Cottonseed oil, soybean oil, and low-quality chocolate. These are the fats that destroy you. Choose wisely. Your future self will thank you. Warning: comprehensive AI-generated content disclaimer. This video contains educational information generated with the assistance of artificial intelligence. While the nutritional and fitness principles discussed are based on established research and expert knowledge, please be aware of the following. Medical disclaimer. This video provides general educational information about nutrition and muscle health. It is not medical advice and should not be treated as a substitute for professional medical consultation, diagnosis, evaluation, or treatment. Every person's nutritional needs are unique and may vary based on individual health status, medications, medical conditions, age, genetics, and lifestyle factors. Before making any significant dietary changes, especially if you have existing health conditions or take medications, consult with your healthcare provider, registered dietitian, or qualified nutrition professional. AI generation notice. Portions of this content were generated using artificial intelligence language models. While efforts have been made to ensure accuracy and relevance, AI-generated content may contain errors or oversimplifications. Always verify important health and nutrition information with qualified professionals. Research and studies. References to scientific research and studies in this video are for educational purposes. While based on actual research, specific study details, dates, or statistical claims should be verified independently with medical professionals or by consulting peer-reviewed journals directly. Individual variation. Results, effectiveness, and applicability of nutritional recommendations vary significantly from person to person based on individual circumstances. The experiences described in this video may not be representative of typical results. Not a personalized plan. This video is not a personalized nutrition or fitness plan. Any specific diet recommendations should be tailored to your individual needs by a qualified healthcare professional or registered dietitian. Supplements and foods. If you have known allergies or sensitivities to any foods mentioned, nuts, seafood, etc., consult your healthcare provider before incorporating them into your diet. Professional consultation required before starting any new diet, supplement regimen, or exercise program. Consult with your primary care physician or a qualified nutrition professional. This is especially important if you have diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, or other chronic conditions. Your healthcare provider is your best source of personalized medical and nutritional advice for your specific situation. This content is intended to be educational and informative. It should complement, not replace, professional medical and nutritional guidance.